Manchester United's hopes of luring Alphonso Davies away from Bayern Munich appear to have hit a significant roadblock. Reports suggest the Canadian international, long admired for his blistering pace and versatility, is now expected to extend his stay with the German giants by signing a new contract. After months of speculation linking Davies with a potential move to the Premier League, insiders close to the situation reveal that Bayern Munich has made decisive progress in convincing the 23-year-old to commit his future to the club. This development follows the Bundesliga champions' efforts to rebuild trust and momentum after a challenging period that included a reshuffling of the managerial staff and concerns over squad cohesion. For United, who are seeking reinforcements at left-back due to injury woes and depth concerns, this news is a blow. Alphonso Davies was seen as an ideal candidate to bolster Erik Ten Hag's squad, given his attacking flair and defensive reliability. However, Bayern's willingness to prioritise Davies as a cornerstone of their future has likely swayed the player's decision. Davies, who joined Bayern from Vancouver Whitecaps in 2018, has grown into one of the most celebrated fullbacks in football. Known for his electrifying runs and pinpoint crosses, he has been integral to Bayern's domestic and European successes, including their 2020 Champions League triumph. Manchester United, meanwhile, may need to turn their attention to alternative targets as the January transfer window approaches. With Tyrell Malacia sidelined and Luke Shaw also managing injuries, the urgency to secure reinforcements remains high. United's recruitment team will likely pivot to other left-back options. While keeping tabs on Davies should his situation at Bayern change in the future, this saga highlights the challenges top clubs face when competing for elite talent, especially against institutions like Bayern, known for retaining their stars. The story remains fluid, but for now, Alphonso Davies seems set to continue lighting up the Allianz Arena rather than donning the red of Manchester United. Manchester United suffered their first defeat of the Ruben Amorim era on Wednesday after losing 2-0 at Arsenal. The Reds' 7-game unbeaten run came to an end after second-half goals from Jurrien Timber and William Saliba. United have now dropped down to 11th in the Premier League table, ahead of their clash at home to Nottingham Forest on Saturday kickoff, 5:30 p.m. Amorim has been able to improve a struggling team, but the Portuguese will need reinforcements in the transfer market if he is to succeed at Old Trafford. Amorim's first opportunity to strengthen his squad will come in January, and several players have already been linked with a move to M16, including Sporting striker Victor Gyökeres, Bayer Leverkusen forward Victor Boniface, and Juventus star Kenan Yildiz. January deals will be difficult for the Reds due to PSR constraints, but player sales could change what they can spend. United will also be planning for next summer and Amorim's first full season in charge. Football finance expert Dr. Rob Wilson believes United must qualify for the Champions League if they are to afford Victor Gyökeres. To afford Victor Gyökeres this summer, I believe that Manchester United have to earn Champions League qualification, he said via OLBG. The Champions League would give them some flexibility in the transfer market because the PSR headroom is almost non-existent now at Manchester United, and what you need to remember is club like that. If they're not playing in Champions League, they have to pay a bit more to get players in and pay them more in wages. It's kind of gone under the radar how well they executed a transfer strategy last summer, because there were fees that were generated from sales, but the wage reductions were significant, and that therefore helps them with the PSR calculation on an ongoing basis. But I think they'd need to get into the top 4 to get Gyökeres. Ruben Amorim's history also shows that he likes to coach and develop players, so it might be a case of him striking with Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee and developing them rather than buying talent. That would be the most efficient way for the club to find success. Ruben Amorim will give Luke Shaw as long as he needs to return to fitness for Manchester United and England, after praising the work he had put in to get himself fit before his latest setback. Shaw had come off the bench for 3 successive games as he worked his way back from injuries, had kept him out for his club side since February. But he sustained a hamstring injury on the eve of United's trip to Arsenal and is now set for another period out. The 29-year-old has started only 1 game in 9 months, the Euro 2024 final, and has now sustained 3 different muscle injuries that have ruled him out of action in that period. Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim suggested Arsenal's wingers are more than happy going down the outside due to the Gunners' strength from corners. Both of Arsenal's goals against United on Wednesday came from corner kicks. Jurrien Timber scored the first to open his Premier League account, and William Saliba clinched victory for Mikel Arteta's side. The 2-0 defeat was Amorim's first reverse as United boss after a draw with Ipswich and wins against Bodo Glimt and Everton. It also showcased Arsenal's set-piece strength from both sides, with deliveries from Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka producing the goals. Amorim recognised the willingness of the opposition to play to those strengths. On this occasion, it was Saka and Gabriel Martinelli on the flanks for the London side, and the visitors failed to deal with them. You can see it in every occasion that Saka and Martinelli has 1-against-1. A lot of times they go outside, they cross, they know that if the cross is going well they can score, if it's the corner they can score. We have to be better on that situation, Amorim said after the defeat. Reflecting on the reverse in a Match of the Day interview, he recognised set pieces at both ends were key, with Matthijs de Ligt denied an equaliser by a big David Raya save. We were committed and we lost to the set pieces. If Matthijs de Ligt can score in that moment, the momentum would be different, he said. We tried to play, but they are a very organised team and it's hard to score. I felt the players were in control of the game. The set pieces changed the game. In the second half, Arsenal cut the gap to leaders Liverpool to just 7 points after the Reds drew at Newcastle. Chelsea climbed above the Gunners on goal difference with their 5. One win at Southampton, but Arteta was positive after his own team's victory. We scored 2 set pieces, but we could have scored from open play many more, he told Match of the Day. We lost 2 massive players for us in our backline, Gabriel and Ricardo Calafiori, but the team is still responding. The game opened up a little bit and we looked a real threat. Very pleased. It's a joy to play in this stadium with that energy. It's something incredible. Arsenal travel across London to take on Fulham on Sunday as they look to keep the pressure on the teams above them. United are back at Old Trafford one day before that, hosting a Nottingham Forest team who lost at Manchester City on Wednesday. Matthijs de Ligt described Manchester United's loss against Arsenal as not good enough, but admitted the team are on the road to improving with Ruben Amorim in charge. United defended well in the first half and limited Arsenal's chances. It was goalless by the interval, but it didn't take long in the second half for Arsenal to break the deadlock. The Gunners have the best set-piece record in the Premier League and took the lead in the 54th minute when Jurrien Timber scored from a corner with a glancing header at the front post. Arsenal doubled their advantage from another corner. The delivery was to the back post on this occasion, and William Saliba was the scorer. Ruben Amorim made 4 changes in an attempt to get United back into the game, but the damage was done and the hosts claimed the victory. The loss condemned Amorim to his first defeat in charge of United, who slipped back into the bottom of the table following Newcastle's draw against Liverpool at St James's Park. After the game, a disappointed de Ligt spoke to MUTV and reflected on the performance. In the defensive phase, the amount of chances we conceded without the set plays was good, he said. In the end, we played a little bit more offensive and conceded some chances at the end, but in general, we have to and we will offensively improve. We need to know what everyone is doing, and we could have hurt them much more. We're still quite early with the new coach, but there are still positives. But overall, I'm really disappointed with the lack of points. As you mentioned, we're on the road to improve as a team, and I think the manager said it also. Maybe if we do it a certain way, we have a bigger chance of getting results right now. But in the future, we will stay the same and won't improve. I think the way we are going now is obviously not perfect yet, and everybody has to improve a lot and get used to the new system, but you can see certain things that are improving. But in the end, we are Manchester United, and it's easy. It's not good enough. We know that, we will work hard, we have time to improve, and we have an important game in a few days. United will play Nottingham Forest next, and the sides will meet at Old Trafford on Saturday. Manchester United have released a statement to the Manchester Evening News after the club was said to have ditched plans to walk out in pro-LGBTQ+ Adidas jackets ahead of Sunday's match with Everton after Noussair Mazraoui reportedly refused to wear one. First-team players have worn pride-themed apparel during the Premier League's Rainbow Laces Week for the past 2 seasons, during the warm-up and for the pre-match walkout. However, such plans this year were scrapped after Mazraoui apparently told teammates he would not take part. The Athletic claims the £15 million summer recruit told teammates he would be refusing to wear the jacket due to his Muslim faith. The team are thought to have made the decision to abandon the jackets just hours before kick-off. The report says Adidas, with whom United have a £900 million 10-year sponsorship deal, are disappointed by the decision with not everyone inside the changing room content with the outcome either. All of these claims have yet to be verified. In a statement to the Manchester Evening News, Manchester United said Manchester United welcomes fans from all backgrounds, including members of the LGBTQ+ community, and we are strongly committed to the principles of diversity and inclusion. We demonstrate these principles through a range of activities, including support for our Rainbow Devils Supporters Club and campaigns to celebrate our LGBTQ+ fans and combat all forms of discrimination. Players are entitled to hold their own individual opinions, particularly in relation to their faith, and these may sometimes differ from the club's position. Captain Bruno Fernandes was seen wearing the rainbow armband during the match as part of the Rainbow Laces campaign, held this year between November the 29th and December 5. Meanwhile, a number of first-team members from both the men's and women's squads took part in video content showing their support for the campaign. LGBTQ+ United fan group Rainbow Devils, established in 2019, released a statement on Wednesday in response to the Mazraoui reports. The statement said, "We respect the right of this player to have his own views, whilst also feeling disappointed that he put the rest of the squad into a position where they felt that they couldn't wear their jackets. We also worry what kind of negative effect this incident might have on any player at the club who may be struggling with their sexuality. Rainbow Devils will continue to work with Manchester United to support inclusivity through the One Love initiative and others, as we all continue our work to ensure all LGBTQ+ people feel safe and welcome at Old Trafford, both on and off the pitch." Mazraoui was previously criticised by a section of Bayern Munich fans in Germany regarding his stance on LGBTQ+ matters. During a match in May 2023, some supporters held up a banner which read, "All colours are beautiful. In Toulouse, Munich and everywhere, respect our values, Mazraoui." This latest report comes after Ipswich Town captain Sam Morsy refused to wear the rainbow armband in games against Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace this week, citing his Muslim faith. Palace skipper and devout Christian Mark Gahey wrote on Heart Jesus on his rainbow armband against Newcastle United on Saturday. He was reminded by the FA about rules regarding displaying religious messages, but wrote Jesus Heart You on his armband against Ipswich on Tuesday.